Okay, there's another county in Florida that's been receiving a lot of criticism over their mishandling of the midterm recounts. Obviously, we've been looking at uh, continuing developments in Broward County with Brenda Snipes receiving a lot of criticism, but people have also been closely looking at Palm Beach County, who their elections supervisor has also been receiving a lot of criticism as well. Susan Booker here. Now they're saying that the county, who previously also been run by the same woman, Booker, who is blaming the failed recount on voting machines, these broken voting machines, is the excuse that she is using. Meanwhile, the county had just this year decided to spend money on iPads, and they had also spent money on coloring books instead of fixing these so-called broken vote machines. In the article they here we can look at, they also point out that the company that has made the voting machines, has refuted the claims by the county, saying that this is a mistake of the users or something that the people operating the machines, the elections officials, have done, and not a problem with the machines themselves, which Palm Beach officials have literally said melted down. That was the excuse that they used, and the company's completely refuting that. Article just from a couple of days ago, just with a recap over some missing votes in the same county as well. Again, pointing more evidence pointing to the fact that this could be intentional fraud going on here, and why hadn't they upgraded these vote machines? They're just asking. A good article from Real Clear Investigations just posted in the last couple of hours. I want to look at that, but that comes just a couple of days after one article here pointing out how people were worried about these missing, a substantial number of missing votes in the recount. They're saying Palm Beach County completed its recount on Thursday, only to discover that it was missing a substantial number of votes when compared to the initial count, according to a New York Times reporter. Florida currently conducting a recount for two important races, one between Ron DeSantis and Andrew Gillum, the other between Rick Scott and Bill Nelson. The Times had reported that Palm Beach County's recount was missing votes, and it was trying to figure out from which precincts the votes were missing. So they linked to a tweet, Palm Beach County recount is missing votes. They're trying to figure out why. Votes did not disappear. Palm Beach has all the ballot boxes on site, but election officials have to determine which votes were counted, which votes were not counted in the machine recount. Lost votes, someone responds. How is that anything but a sham? The recount reporters, the original report said that the recount had a significantly lower number of votes than the original, so they were having to look at the log and figure out which precincts are missing. The boxes are here. They need to be identified and resubmitted in the machine. Palm Beach elections supervisor Susan Booker says she takes, quote, full responsibility for the error, and revealed that her county was unlikely to meet the 3 p.m. deadline for the recount on that day, on Thursday. Several days before then, Palm Beach had been required to restart its recount after voting machines overheated. That was the claim, at least from officials. They've been blaming the machines. And the week before, Republican candidate Scott had filed a suit against Palm Beach County for refusing to allow ballots to be submitted to the canvassing board for review. They refused to allow these ballots to be submitted for review, these same elections officials, and also for blocking the Republican Party, blocking officials from the Republican Party from being present during ballot counting. A judge ruled in Scott's favor and ordered Booker to submit ballots to the canvassing board. So she had been forced to do that. And they're just saying today that they'd found these documents from what they had been spending money on in the county from this year, and another one dating back previously, which raises a lot more questions. They're saying that votes aren't the only things that have not easily added up in Palm Beach County this election cycle. Neither have the South Florida counties' decisions to spend election integrity funds on civic coloring books and iPads rather than on fixing voting machines that officials have long called a problem. Same machines they are blaming for delays in the recount of the November 6th election were also blamed for problems in 2008 and 2012. A quote from Susan Booker reads, "It's become evident through the vigorous pace of counting that the machines used for the recount were starting to get stressed." In a further twist, the company has completely refuted these claims from the election supervisor, Susan Booker. Others are criticizing as well. She's saying that the machines were overstressed and they overheated. Meanwhile, the company that sold Palm Beach these machines says official claims that they overheated are false. Quote reads, "The idea that the equipment is at fault is a mischaracterization. There were no reports," the company says, that they received no reports of any overheating of machines during the recount. We had engineers on the ground there, available 24/7, and they heard nothing from anyone at Palm Beach County. So no officials had reported anything to the company. There were 3 statewide races, they point out, for governor, U.S. senator, and agriculture commissioner, which were close enough to require a statewide recount this year. Because of vote counting problems, Palm Beach election workers were forced to miss the Thursday deadline for recounting votes. Circuit judge extended the count to this Tuesday. Problems in Palm Beach have occurred despite election security funding. So they do receive this funding. The county has received, they have been given this funding to keep voting systems running correctly. Part of the money doled out to states under the Help America Vote Act of 2002, or HAVA. Records show that Palm Beach County this year used almost $1 million. They used $909,000 of their share of the Help America Vote Act funds just this year, over $900,000 to buy iPads for voters to check in at the polls. A 2009 audit of the county's elections department found the agency improperly spent $48,000 in Help America Vote Act funds that they'd been given on coloring books. $48,000 in funds on coloring books that are supposed to be used for election integrity. Booker, on top of that, while having just this year wasted almost $1 million on iPads, is asking the commissioner for another $11 million. Booker has asked commissioners for another $11.1 million for systems to replace the current one. She has said that the equipment hasn't been ordered yet because she wants to make sure it complies with a state accessibility standard that allows people with disabilities to vote more easily. Numerous other counties have equipment that meets the standard. Booker did not respond to email seeking comment. County's 8 voting machines that reportedly went on the fritz while counting ballots. That's what they've said happened from this month's election. They were purchased in a no-bid deal in 2008 from Sequoia Voting Systems for $5.5 million. In 2012, the machines miscounted a race in Wellington Village, mistakenly calculating victories. They actually gave the wrong results, mistaken victories for 2 candidates who did not actually win. In that case, Booker blamed Dominion Voting, which purchased the other company, Sequoia, in 2010 for failing to advise her of a software update. Dominion at that time also disputed her claim. Even before Booker took office in 2009, point to other possible problems. State approved the version of the software used in the Palm Beach machines in 2015. Palm Beach County is the only one in Florida using that particular system, although several other counties use equipment from the same company. saying it's unclear if they are old or need a software update. The company is disputing claims that Dominion machines failed in this year's elections. They've disputed that there was any failure on the part of the machines, saying that they've also added that the company trying to, I guess, fix any potential problems ahead of time had company says, quote, that they shipped motors to Palm Beach County. They shipped motors to them the weekend before the machines were to be used for the recount, knowing that this was going to be a highly unusual situation and there would be stress far beyond normal usage. Those motors are still in their boxes. Florida received $19 million in HAVA funds in early summer. In its letter requesting the funding, Florida Secretary of State said the state has worked with election supervisors to modernize voting equipment. You know, the company that runs the voting machines that has also given another statement. One official from Dominion saying that the company has been trying to contact Booker, but they've gotten no response. We have reached out to them to get clarification of this information that they have made public. Basically, they're publicly blaming the company. Company is trying to reach out to help with elections officials or resolve whatever problems, alleged problems with these machines are going on. And they're saying that they have not even heard back. Their claims they've not heard back for any from based on they've not heard back any additional info from these officials, the company even. So let me know what you think about that. Just adding to the midterm recount debacle. I have links to both of these articles if you want to take a look in full, and link to my Patreon account, patreon.com/realityreader. Thanks everybody that donates through there. A couple dollars makes a huge difference. Even patreon.com/realityreader. Links to that, PayPal, and the articles in the video description. I'll follow up soon. Thank you.